Hey y'all, this video is meant for those of us who either missed the professional development that we did, or you just need a little refresher. Now, before we get into all of this, you all should have access to these slides and everything like that. I will give them to you. But for any of you who were, while you were looking at this, were like, why is it, Peter, that you are doing only a 10-minute activity and you have so many slides and so many things written down? Realistically, you do not have to write all these things down to keep you on track or anything like that. I didn't even do that when I would do this. This was literally the sentence that I said, went over vocab. That was it. And I just knew what that meant and did it. The reason I have all of these is, one, I know whenever I learn something new, I need all of the steps. I want to see everything and all that stuff. So that's why I have this. And it just helps keep me on track too when I'm leading a professional development. So again, if it's easier, you can read it or just listen. Now, let's get into this. This can be done with any vocabulary. We can tailor this. If you want me to help you, I can do that. Just let me know. Otherwise, for this lesson, what I would end up doing, this is part of the beginning of it, is the students were expected to know, how does this ruler gain, consolidate, and maintain power? All right. And those are our 3 vocab words. So what I would do at the beginning is probably, say hi to them, blah, blah, blah. And then either they read or I read the vocab words. I would probably also tell them, hey, look how the pictures reinforce the concept. We'd probably go over that for a little bit and all of those. Then what I would have them do is I would assign each group one of these vocab words. All right. After that, I would then tell them, what you need to do now is read these examples right over here and decide which one of these is related to your vocab word. So maybe I gave them maintain and they're talking with their group and they're like, I think actually the Incas built roads for their army is an example of maintaining power. We'll get back to that in a hot second. Now, after they've had a chance to go ahead and discuss, and I want you to also keep in mind too, these numbers I've got up here for minutes, that's, again, for me, and I almost never obeyed that. It was just to keep me on track. Now, after they've gotten a chance to discuss this for, I think I said 2 minutes, you need to give the students a chance to assign themselves jobs. The reason why you assign them these jobs, 1, it keeps them on track. 2, they have ownership of what they are expected to do. And there's probably a third one, I can't think of it right now. What the jobs are is reader, speaker. I would recommend having 2 for this. And then a writer. And we'll get over what all these things do here in a hot second. So after they've done that, give them like a minute to do that. Have the students go up and grab a sticky note. The reason why you want to have them do it is it gives them a little bit of brain break. And if you do it, you're robbing them. You're going to probably spend more time passing out the sticky notes. And you're robbing them of that tiny little bit of break where their brains can restart. Now, on the sticky note, the writers, we're getting into the job now, need to write down a couple of things. Number 1, the vocab word, easy. Ours was maintain. 2, the empire's name. We said this, Inca. 3, the example number, which was built roads for the army. All these things easy. Now what they need to go ahead and do is they need to justify, how do you know the Inca building roads for their army is an example of maintaining power? I would recommend that you limit the number of words the students are allowed to use. Number 1 is if you give them, leave it open-ended, they might be too nervous and don't know what to write. If you limit it, you're at least putting a floor on it and a ceiling, and then they got to hit that sweet spot and they will probably at least know this is what Mr. T is expecting. All right? Now, after they've written those things down, and you'll see on here these levels here, this is, as we are discussing and going through this little mini lesson, you should notice how the student's thinking is getting more critical. So we start off identifying vocab. We're classifying this as Costa's level of thinking. And then the last one, they need to justify this. So they're doing the highest level of thinking now. After they've written down their sticky note, they either need to memorize a sticky note, take it with them, whatever's easier. And they need to now go to a different group and discuss with a different group person, another student in the classroom, what was their vocab word and the example they connected it to. At this point in time, they have now talked about it 2 to 3 times. All right, so this is being reinforced multiple times already. All right, they do this for a minute, and if you're like, how long do I need to do this for? Season to taste. Feel the vibe of the room, and then cut it off. Then they go back to their groups. This is where we need to now get back into our speakers/readers. Because what they need to do now is each group needs to tell what they wrote down on their sticky note. If you are strapped on time, you could cut this last part out. I would highly caution you against that because this is one last time where they get to reinforce this content. So what they would need to go ahead and do is you could have one of the speakers who's maybe more nervous, just read the vocabulary word, the umpire's name, and the example number. Easy, no critical thinking involved in that. But then the other speaker, speaker number 2, could do the justifying the reasoning. So in our example, we had said we had the Inca, and it was they built roads for their army, and that was maintaining power. Maybe the student says, well, Mr. T, the way you maintain power is if you're maintaining power, that implies like you already you have power. Okay, you're keeping it, so you already have power. Well, if you have an army, the whole point of the army is they need to protect the people living in the empire. They can't protect them if they can't get close to them. So to get close to them, they have to build a road, and that's how they get close to them, because they have these roads that connect everyone, and they can get there faster. So that's how they keep their power. Oh, okay, sweet. Again, it helps if every single group does this. The reason why is, one, they're reinforcing the content. Again, they've heard it now 3 times. They're hearing the vocab a third time, minimum. And then lastly, they get to hear how their other classmates think, which is incredibly helpful. And then lastly, a little bit of the other one is they get to hear from their classmates instead of us, which is also kind of a nice little helpful for them too. That is it for everything. All right. The last little part on here was just how we kind of digested the professional development at the end of the PD. So if you could go through that, you can go through that if you want to and look, but that was it. This is everything, y'all. It's okay if this goes over a little bit longer. If it goes a little under, that's also okay too. After you do it a number of times, this will become it'll become way easier. And yeah. Let me know if you want to go ahead and have anything specific or how I can help you tailor this specifically to something that you are doing. Otherwise, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and see you later.